Ahoy, SWABS! Captain Jeff the Pirate here, at your service. And welcome to another episode of Captain Jeff Reviews and Questions Adventure Time. Today's episode, Little Brother. Now, the episode begins with Jake trying to play his viola. But he can't because there'll be a party on the inside. And the party be featuring all these bugs and other creepy crawlies and critters from the kingdom, including Shelby, who, in a moment of par choice decision, decides to show off at the party with some parkour. Anyway, he falls and he severs his, his butt from his body and passes out. He wakes up and finds a note saying that his butt is now a sentient life form, and it be his little brother. So he'd be like, okay, I've never had a little brother before. Wonder what I should do. So he goes and asks Jake the dog. He's like, you have a brother, what do I do in this scenario? And Jake says, just give him a sword. The rest will work out for itself. Oh boy, little does he know how this is going to turn out. Anywho, so Shelby gives him a sword. It'd be like this one, only it's small, green, and it's one of those, toothpicks, those fancy sword toothpicks. Anyway, and his brother officially be named Kent. So he says, go out there and fight some bad guys. Our girls. Don't discriminate. So somehow Shelby's little brother, which used to be a butt, gets 2 little legs and 2 little arms and proceeds to run about the treehouse. Kent, he looks like a little running gumdrop. So he sees this rat chewing on the tree root and proceeds to follow it into the tree, where he tries to fight it, but he sees the eyes of it in the dark of this crevice, and he says, come out and fight me. And then there's 10 or 20 sets of eyes, and he's like, uh-oh. And of course he gets smacked and passes out. He wakes up inside this little house belonging to these little tree creature people. And he is being cared for by a gentleman by the name of Leafbeard. Sounds like a nature pirate. Anyway, he says, welcome to the Tree Kingdom. The only problem is that the Rat King and his minions have been terrorizing our kingdom for so long. So Kent says, well, me brother told me to go and fight the bad guys, so I'll fight the bad guys for you. But with what? His sword got broken in the process of fighting the Rat King the first time. Unfortunately for him, Treebeard's, daughter, who was watching over him, she be the blacksmith, and she says she'll put it back together for him, but all he has to do is go on a quest and find 3 items to repair the sword. So he goes forth on his quest to find the 3 elements for the sword. First, he finds these magic crystals, which are being guarded by a rat in a crystal. So he can either get the unbreakable metal, or he can take the crystals and live forever, and live the rest of his days as a rich, wealthy man in comfort. No, I just want to fight the bad guys. So he passes the fire's test. Next, he looking for special rare R to help with the smithing process. Another rat, this time wielding a giant metal blade, offers him, you can either have the R, or you can marry one of me 3 daughters. You will have true love and be a good husband for the rest of your days. He says, I don't care about true love, I just want to fight the bad guys. So he gets the R. Then finally he goes to this tree where all these lightning bugs be flying about, and there be this ninja rat. Slight problem right there, I can understand. Anyway, the ninja rat says, you can either have the magical blue flame, or hiya! He cracks open the tree and out comes the special nectar. It says, with this you will live forever, and you'll live throughout, and you'll be immortal. You'll live forever and pass all of time itself. You'll outpass everyone. And he's like, I don't care about that. I was born maybe yesterday, so I have no real grasp of my mortality at this point. I just want to fight bad guys. So he gets a magic lightning bug. He brings the elements back, and he actually gets a metal sword, and proceeds to go chase after the Rat King. I'm noticing something very interesting about this episode. I guess you could say in an essence, Kent be some kind of representation of what Finn used to be. He seems to be only focused on fighting the bad guys. Doesn't seem to be concerned about earthly goods, finding true love, or immortality, which is what Finn kind of used to be about. And then let's see, they had meat, furniture and meat, which kind of resolved the financial problem. There's still the whole issue of Finn and his romantic lack thereof, romance. And as for immortality, haven't crossed that bridge yet, so 2 out of 3. Oh well. Anyway, he comes into this realm, and there be the Rat King, who is apparently one giant rat head, and his whole body be made up of a bunch of other rats. And his front teeth be glowing. So Shelby takes a few swings and unsuccessful misses. Unsuccessful and misses. The Rat King says, I will offer you this. Submit to me and I will offer you unlimited power. You will have powers of a god. You will be a god for the rest of your days alive. So basically Shelby would be a titan, worm butt among the mortals. That would be awkward. Anyway, he says, no, I just want to fight the bad guys. And the king would be like, why? Because of your brother said to? Enraged, Kent flies at the Rat King and attacks him. And then his sword strikes the teeth, and then suddenly the screen goes white. Shelby be looking outside at Finn and Jake, wondering about how his brother be doing. When suddenly, he returns to him, carrying a bag with something shiny inside. The episode then proceeds to go to a voiceover. Shelby says how Kent told him his story of the rat, of him fighting the Rat King. But unfortunately, because he drank of the dew from the plant kingdom, he now has to live there by law. Or at least that's what he said. And Shelby doesn't know if he went to go seek out wealth or immortality or being a good husband, or if he just wanted to continue to fight the bad guys. But he did notice something. And if you look on the wall, Shelby's study, there be the Rat King's teeth. And the Rat King himself has lost his teeth. And then Shelby points out that because of the Rat King being defeated, later that year, 1 year passed, and the tree actually came into bloom. It was no longer a weeping willow. It had like all these flowers, petals. The tree had actually gotten life. And that's how the episode ends. So the only 2 conclusions I can think of is that thanks to the Rat King being defeated, that's how apparently the tree had some other magical powers in it because of all the crystals and the nectar and stuff. And with the Rat King gone, that's how the tree grew so big in the episode Lemon Hope, where we see him at the end. This be a fairly good episode, and I kind of like how it be showing off Finn's old traits and how it shows if you're focused on one set of goals, it's a good thing and a bad thing. But yeah, it's a good thing because it helped him pass the test, but it's kind of a bad thing if that's just the whole point of your life is one set goal and not taking time to, enjoy some of the other things. Yeah, but like I said, it'd be like a allegory or something about Finn's life in the past. Alright, so skipping over all that stuff, the point is, it'd be a good episode. I liked it. It was an interesting story, and it was entertaining. And this was an episode where Finn was there, but not that much, and Jake only had a few speaking roles. So it's interesting that this episode was good, even though it was a lack of the main characters. So I'd be giving Little Brother a thumb and a half up. Yeah, it was fairly good. Yeah, a little weird at some points, but I liked how there was so much connectivity and how it related to past and current stuff with the episodes. And I think the only major question I have is, will Shelby's butt grow back? Yeah, that'd be the earth-shattering question of this episode, folks. Will a worm's butt grow back to normal? Well, that's all the time I got for this episode. Until next time, this has been Captain Jeff, saying thank you for watching, and as always, arrgh. You have a nice day, folks.